Hi everybody. Since I'm not at school today, I wanted to record this video to go over how to set up your paper. The expectations for the paper are obviously on the assignment on Google Classroom, and I'm going to put this sample paper there as well. But I wanted to show you a couple of things so when you set it up, you know exactly what to do. For starters, notice the paper is in MLA format. You should be good at this by now, but just to remind you, you have a header in the corner, which is your last name and the page number. If you don't remember how to do that, you go to Insert. This looks different now, Page Elements, and then you want to go to Page Number, pick that top one there, and put your last name in front of it. The font needs to be Arial or Times New Roman 12-point font, and everything is double spaced. Notice, again, we have no extra spacing between anything, not between the paragraphs, the header, the heading, whatever. This is what your heading should look like: your name, my name, the class, the date, and then you should have a title in the middle of your paper. Your title should be a creative title. It shouldn't just say paper week 2 or whatever. Okay, I wanted to go over, this is a sample paper from somebody from last year. She did an excellent job, so I wanted to show you how she set up her paper. And again, I'll have the paper there for you to look at. I did black out some things, if you notice, and that's because I didn't want you to have access to all of her own thoughts. I wanted you to be able to form your own thoughts in case you were going to talk about a similar topic. Remember, for this paper, you can write about either Kate Chopin's story, or you could write about the Langston Hughes poem, either one. It's completely up to you. So in this case, she wrote about the story of an hour. Here, highlighted in yellow, is just a brief summary. Again, you should assume the person who's reading your paper has never read the story or the poem, so you do want to give a summary, but because it's such a short paper, this summary is only 2 sentences. Immediately following the summary, highlighted in blue, I have her thesis statement. What's really important to notice in the thesis statement is it tells me exactly what to look for in the paper, because this paper is not a summary of the story you read. You are picking out one thing that you want to talk about. So in this case, she's talking about the symbolism and the imagery and how it shows this awakening that Mrs. Mallard had. Okay, you could talk about the use of the words colored in white in Langston Hughes's poem. You could talk about the juxtaposition of different things in Langston Hughes's poem. You could focus only on the images of the sky and the story of an hour. It's completely up to you. But your thesis should tell me exactly what you're talking about, and this is all you are talking about in the rest of the paper. Okay. As you scroll through the paper, you'll notice I highlighted in this other blue every time she uses the word symbolize or symbol and imagery. Here we have it again. And that is just to show you that it is obvious throughout her paper that she is talking about the symbols and the imagery. Okay, and then highlighted in pink, I have all of the different examples she uses from the text. Notice it's not just one example, just one sentence from the text. She has multiple examples that she's quoting from the text to defend her analysis. And this paper is just a page and a half long. If you look at it, it's 1.5 pages. And in that, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different quotes from the text to defend her thesis. Everything in white, you will notice, is her own analysis. It's what she is saying about the topic, and then she supports her analysis with evidence. So while she has a lot of evidence, it is not the majority of her paper. And again, I have blacked out a lot of her analysis because I want you to come up with your own thoughts if you're writing on the same topic. So overall, she did a fabulous job. I highly suggest you reading over her paper. It's on Google Classroom for you to look at. And the last thing I wanted to show you is this is the rubric. Okay, so 15 of the points is in an MLA format. Do not miss those points. Make sure that you are in the right font, that you're double spaced, everything that you need. Okay, another 15 points is grammar and mechanics. One thing I want to point out in the writing is when you write about literature, you write in present tense. Okay, so if you notice, The Story of an Hour by Kate Chopin tells the story. Here in the passage, the window Mrs. Mallard stares out of for an hour symbolizes liberation. Okay, when she says this, it makes it seem like the window is going to be an important detail later on. In the story, she continues. So we're using all present tense verbs. Okay, make sure you keep your writing in present tense. And then 70 points of the paper, that is obviously the majority of the paper, is how well do you analyze and support your argument. So make sure that you are really focusing on, if I am talking about symbolism and imagery, that's what my whole paper is on. I have a lot to say myself, and I defend that with quite a bit of quotations from the text. Okay, that's my spiel. Tomorrow I'll be able to answer any questions, but hopefully you get off and running today and you get a good jump on it.